All right, I think I'm back again. Let me set up my YouTube here. Where is it? I don't see it. Why don't I see it in YouTube? I don't see it live either. Is this working? I don't see it working. Anyone here? Can anyone see me? When I look at YouTube, I don't see the video. And I should see it. Oops.
I see you live.
Hold on, let me check. All right, anyway, well, I figured this out. We have some updates. I know, it's been a day. Here we go. There's my live stream. All right, Chad Daybell has been arrested. Woohoo! Let's wait till some people get in the room. This is exciting stuff. Okay, Mira, I made you a mod. There we go. Hi, GK. We have more news on this case. Can you believe it? This is nuts. This is crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, Chad Daybell has actually been arrested for real, which is exciting. There is a press conference coming up pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be able to show that if I can find it. I'm not so good at this. Denise was very good at finding live streams on Facebook and being able to stream them. I don't know how she did it. She did not teach me her ways. All right, let's see what we got. The press conference should be coming up in about 30 minutes or so. So we have some time before that starts. In the meantime, Chad was charged. Actually charged with actual crime. He was charged with, let me find the actual wording so I don't get it wrong. All right, Chad Daybell was charged and is in custody for felony destruction or concealment of evidence as a result of the human remains they found on his property. So, what does that mean? Hey, little Barb. Hi. Whew, guys, this is big news. So yeah, now Chad is in jail for real, and Lori is in jail for real, and they've probably found the children. So I'm not sure what this press conference is going to be. I'm not sure if they're going to just talk about the charges against Chad, or if they're going to talk about maybe who they think the remains are. You know, I don't think they'll speculate on the remains until they're identified. So I don't think they could ID them that fast. You know, I'm sure they'll want to do actual forensic testing and not just assume. So I don't think we're going to hear about the remains tonight, but probably about the charges on Chad, which is still really good news. So we just have to wait a little bit till that gets started. Anyway, all right, so I do have one thing to show you that's actually kind of fun. Let me share my screen. Nate Eaton is reporting. I guess he followed where they towed Chad's truck to. Here's a video. I'm going to mute the sound. This is the tow lot where they towed Chad Daybell's car. I assume that they're going to test it forensically and do all that good stuff. It's probably in there in that building. And yeah, he's not going to need it now because he's in jail. And let's hope he's there for a long time. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. So we shall wait a bit and see what happens with this press conference. Oh, man. Can you imagine? Oh, and the killer is, I really wish Denise was here because she would be jumping up and down over this, to finally see Chad in custody. Man. Yeah. So, all right, checking up on the latest Twitters. There are some rumors floating around. All right, there are some people saying that, Lori flipped and she's the one who told them where to look. Nobody knows that. The authorities have certainly not said that. So let's not take that as truth because it's not. Right? It's rumor. There are certain people who are pretty famous for their rumor mongering on YouTube true crime. So be careful. It's possible that she did, but until law enforcement says so, then let's not go there. We can speculate about it and talk about it, but we're certainly not going to report it as something that actually happened. Because we don't know. I don't think she would anyway, I really don't. But what do I know? I'm not crazy like she is, allegedly. All right, so I haven't seen any live images of the property, although I did see this. Let me share this. Got to get faster at the share screen thing. All right, this is an image of the property that was taken about 14 minutes ago. Right, so that's pretty recent. The area is taped off, the entire yard, apparently, all the way around the house, and that big open yard space that we saw earlier. That is the FBI Forensic Crime Lab unit there. And, they're still there. There's still vehicles all over the place. I don't know if they're done with their excavation, if they're done searching the ground or what, but yeah, I think that house is probably going to be sealed off for a while. So, but we haven't had any new aerial footage. This is just another street down the road. Apparently the roads are opened now. They have reopened all the closed roads around there, so I suppose that's good. Here's a shot from earlier when they were digging up in the ground. I don't know if they're still out there or not, but I think they found what they needed to find. I do hope that we'll get some information about the remains, but it's not likely. Here is the information of Chad Daybell being booked into custody. Look at that. He's booked. Did it say where? The date. Fremont County Law Enforcement Complex in St. Anthony, Idaho. Right, and the charges are not listed on this because that was before the charges came out. But he is in jail. Now, when they said, what did they say? Felony destruction or concealment of evidence. That's kind of interesting. We don't hear the usual, things. Let me stop sharing my screen. Felony destruction could be burning or something like that. Concealment sounds more likely to me that he buried them and concealed the body or bodies or who knows what's going on. But I hope we can get a little more confirmation and clarity on that as the press conference takes place. Now I'm double checking all of my Facebook news people and Twitter news people and news websites, because as soon as this press conference goes live, I will bring it to you, because it should be very interesting. Or it'll be like this afternoon. They'll be like, yep, he's in jail. Okay, bye. It could be. You never know. And I got a call from my mother. My mother is very much into true crime and always was my whole life. And I thought she was a little crazy. Who'd have thought, And she's been following this case for a while. So I had to call her and let her know what was going on today, with all of the updates. And she was very surprised because she was sure that this was going to be about Tammy Daybell, just like I was when I first saw that this morning. But finding out that it was about the kids and they found the remains, that's hard news to take. Now, the interesting thing, and we really need to try to piece together how this happened. In order for them to have gotten a search warrant to look at that property for evidence that may be connected to JJ and Tylee, they had to show probable cause to get that search warrant. So what do you think they might have had that would have had a judge sign off on a search warrant like this? Because they were there in January, right? But that search warrant was strictly related to Tammy Daybell. As far as we know, it was sealed, so we don't actually know what it said, but we are assuming it was for Tammy Daybell. Did they find something and then have to go back and get this other search warrant? Did they get a tip from someone who is in the know? Something gave them probable cause, which is more than just, maybe we should dig up their yard. And also when you're watching the footage that Nate took from the helicopter, they don't randomly dig. They started exactly where they were all day. It's not like they dug up the whole yard. So how did they know exactly where to go look? You know what I mean? So that's a little curious too. So they had very good information before they stepped on that property today. And I would really like to know what it was. Do I think we're going to find out? Maybe not for a while, but we'll definitely keep checking. All right, any updates? Doesn't look like any more updates. So we're just going to be waiting for the press conference. Hi, Bipolar Princess. How are you? I'm not sure who rolled on him. I'm really not sure. Melanie Gibb certainly seemed to be very, very talkative, but she didn't seem to know these kinds of details. If anyone did, I would think, if anyone knew, I would guess Melanie Boudreau Pulowski. I think she would know. But I don't know. She seems very defensive and very wanting to preserve her marriage to Ian. And I have a feeling if Ian knew that she knew, he'd be out of there. He didn't look too happy in that interview. So I'm not sure. Lori could have rolled on him. That's very possible. She could have told him, hey, he did it. I was scared of him. I had to lie to protect myself. She could have tried a game like that. But I don't think they'll believe it. But if they got that information enough to get Chad, then great. Go for it. So it would be nice if they would tell us a little bit about where they got the information for the warrant. But they have been very quiet since Chad's arrest, or since he was picked up for questioning. So I really want to know what they got. Imagine someday we'll be sitting here because we will be able to watch the video of his interview after his arrest. So remember this point in time now, because it'll be like, hey, remember when we just knew he was arrested? And then before it goes to trial, we get to see videos and all that good stuff. But that is a ways down the road, unfortunately. Anyway, while we wait for this press conference, how are you guys doing? GK, Mira, Bipolar, Lil Barb. I hope you guys are having a good day despite all this crazy news. Everything here has been totally thrown out of whack. My goal today was to make my video about the keto diet plan for people who are just starting it and stuff like that. And that obviously didn't happen. I've been here doing this all day. Oh, hey, Aaron, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. All right, so for anyone who didn't hear, let's go over everything that happened today. At 7 a.m., Rexburg Police, FBI, and the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, they all descended on Chad Daybell's home, which is in Salem, Idaho, just outside Rexburg. And they started executing a search warrant in the yard. They went directly to a couple spots in the yard, and they started digging. They put down some tarps, put up some blue tents, and all we could do was watch. Hours later, Chad Daybell was taken into custody on the side of the road. They pulled him over, they towed his car, and they handcuffed him and put him in a police car. He was brought in for questioning. So he was detained for questioning at that point, not arrested or charged. Then later on that afternoon, this afternoon, it was just today, we started hearing some rumors about human remains found in the yard. And a little bit after that, the local police department did do a press conference to confirm that, yes, indeed, human remains were found in the yard of Chad Daybell, and Chad Daybell was in custody. So that's really all we know. However, there's Jess. There you go. All right, so Chad Daybell has now actually been charged and arrested and booked into jail. He was arrested for felony destruction or concealment of evidence. All right, so that could mean a whole lot of things. I'm hoping that the press conference coming up will give us some more clarity about that. But at least he's actually charged with a crime and in jail. As far as I know, there is no bond at this time. He'd have to have an arraignment for that to happen. So who knows what they're going to tell us at this press conference. I don't think they're going to tell us too much about the remains because those have to be forensically identified first. But hopefully they'll let us know what led to this search warrant today. A little bit more detail about the charges against Chad and where we're going to go from here. So I wonder what Lori's thinking in jail right now. Do you think anyone told her about this? No murder charges yet, Jess. Just felony, destruction, or concealment of evidence, not of a body, of evidence. So I have no idea what that could mean. It could mean a ton of things. So far, Mark, their lawyer, has not made a statement, but he is technically Lori and Chad's only lawyer because all the other lawyers have dropped off the case. So fun times. And remember, poor Mark, he is not a criminal defense attorney. He is a family lawyer. And that's going to be a problem. I don't think he's a real happy camper right now. He's going to have a new lawyer, Jess. He really is. Yeah, she does think the world is going to end on July 22nd. So, one of the interviews that I saw over the weekend, I'm not sure if it was with April Raymond or maybe Melanie, where Lori said to that person, whoever it was, that, she thinks that what's going to happen is going to be so bad, it might be better to just put the kids in a car and drive off a cliff. And that we've seen that line of thinking before, where people are trying to save their children from a horrible fate by killing them. But I don't think that's what this is, because she also said she thought they were zombies. That's not normal thinking. So who knows what happened, but she said enough crazy things to make me think that those kids are no longer with us. So, yeah, Aaron, he did look like he was going to pass out. He looked so nervous and so uncomfortable. And the judge had to keep telling him to stand up. Like he didn't even know basic courtroom etiquette. Just the basics. You stand up when you're talking to the judge. We all know that. How could he not know that? So I don't think he's even remotely prepared to handle a case like this, especially such a high profile case with two co-defendants. That's never going to go well for one lawyer. And charges like this with all the crazy stuff, yeah. If they don't get a new lawyer, they're in deep doo-doo. You lost me? What do you mean? Who did we lose? What's going on? I'm still here. Let me check my StreamYard. Looks like it's still going. What did Jess say? You're gonna get hit for tax fraud and stuff. Yeah, hopefully they'll get hit for everything like that. She is still collecting checks on the kids, Social Security, the payments for when a parent dies kind of thing. I forget what it's called. But she's been collecting that all this time, and there's a lot of stuff Chad has in his background too that I think we're going to hear a lot more about. There was recently an interview that Nate Eaton did with a woman who was an author who had Chad Daybell publish some of her work. And she said a lot of things about Chad and some kind of dirty dealings in his background. So I think all of that is going to come out. He's not the saint that he makes himself out to be. So that's going to be some interesting news. I would like to kind of have a camera in Lori's jail cell on July 22nd and just watch her. And then watch her again the morning of the 23rd. Like, oh, darn. Your plan has failed. You're all still here. That would be kind of interesting. Yes, Lori and Chad believe that the world is going to end on July 22nd, and them and their 144,000 friends are going to ascend to heaven, and all the rest of us are going to, I don't know, get blown up or something. Whatever. But I would like to see her face on July 23rd when she's still in jail and realizes her whole plan was for nothing. Yes, they should have court on July 23rd. That would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Although, I have thought a time or two over the last couple of months that maybe they're right, because this year has certainly been crazy. Crazy town like we have not seen before. So wouldn't that be something if they were actually right? All right, I'm checking all of my Facebooky, Twitter stuffs to see if there's any news on the press conference. Nothing looks like it's happening yet. So if you guys see anything, please let me know. If you find the press conference, drop me a link in Discord so I can get it up on the stream quickly. Hi, Angel. Welcome back. You saw Chad's Sun page. He talks about a game called Portal. Yeah. Portal is a really fun game. You know, I like video games. Portal is a great game. And it's really funny that he would play Portal when Chad and Lori talk about being able to teleport and stuff. You know, that's kind of silly. And we did hear more about the portal that Lori built in her bedroom closet. Now, when they say teleport and portal, of course you think, oh, I step in this portal and I come out somewhere else. But that's not what they meant by it. They meant just sort of a place where you could connect with somebody's energy, you know, a special place like that, like an energy vortex or what have you. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, playing the Portal game, I wonder if that's where Chad got it from. Wouldn't that be something? All right, East Idaho News is going to cover it. I'm checking their website. I'll stay on there. Hopefully they will have it up a little bit early so we can get all set up. Oh, man. All right, so Chad. Yeah, it's funny. It is funny. Now, Chad's son, are you talking about Seth? Seth Daybell, the one who makes all the T-shirts and stuff? It could be Seth. I found his Twitter, and it's strange. He just has a T-shirt empire business. I don't know. I guess he makes T-shirts and puts them up on Teespring or something. I don't know. I guess that's what you do when you're preparing for the end times. Make T-shirts. Get ready. Could be. All right, I have to mute my microphone for 1 second, just because there's people moving around. I'll be right back. Okay, you may hear some noise in the background because, you know, people have to live in the house too, so. All right, so yeah, Seth does have a Twitter. You can just search for Seth Daybell, and you'll find his Twitter. If I were him, I would take it down now, but it's still up last time I checked anyway. Chad also claimed that his wife would not be mad that he was seeing Lori, because, oh, yeah, that thing. Lori and Chad put forth their theory that about past lives. Now, I don't totally disagree with reincarnation and past lives and all, but Chad and Lori believe that they were married in a past life, which means that they were, you know, destiny to be married again in this life and find each other and stuff. And because of that, Chad's wife, Tammy, would understand, right? I don't think that's what happened. I don't think Tammy understood if they ever told her. Because remember, she died 2 weeks before they got married. Yeah, I have a feeling Tammy did not think that was such a funny thing. I suppose it's possible, but I don't think so. Little Barb says, today's been a bittersweet day. Your son and grandbabies left. Oh, they left? Aw. It was nice having them with you for a good visit. That's cool. I'm glad you had a good visit with them. And the fireflies the other night. All right, let's take a tour of TweetDeck and see if we got anything new. All right, sources are saying that 2 bodies were found in the yard. Now, this is sources. This is not law enforcement. All right, so who knows? But the sources earlier saying bodies were found were correct, so it's quite possible. And it's interesting. Jess and I were talking earlier, and she said that she thought Tylee wouldn't be found there because she was in Yellowstone. And I kind of thought that was very possible. In Yellowstone National Park, there are a lot of hot springs, and some of them are very caustic. There's sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, things like that. And there was a story of someone who jumped in because he was doing what's called hot potting, where you jump in them to take a hot spring bath. And he jumped in the wrong one, and his body was dissolved completely. And they couldn't even get in to look for remains. So they're like, yeah, we can't put any equipment or even a toe in that water because we'll get dissolved too. And if Lori understood that or understood geology or knew about Yellowstone, I thought maybe that's where she would have disposed of the kids because the body would not have been found. Apparently, Lori's not that smart, which is good because now we can have some closure on this case. So, Annie Cushing posted that Tylee has been found, did she? I know she posted earlier that they did find remains. Let me check her Facebook. Annie Cushing is Tylee's aunt, and she has been very vocal about this case. Let me see, is this her? Mm-hmm. All right, I see her page, but I don't see a post about Tylee. Do you know where she posted that? Was it on Facebook? I'd like to get a screenshot of that. Annie Cushing actually had talked to Denise at some point. I think they were going to do an interview or something, but she has been very vocal about this case and wanting to find her niece. And she was one of the first people that posted earlier that remains had been found on the property. So let's see if I can find another. Does she have a Twitter? Maybe it's on her Twitter. She hasn't posted in the group at all. Yeah, there's nothing on her page about Tylee. Unless it's because I'm not friends with her and it's private. That could be. Yeah, if you could find it, that would be great, Angel. Jess, I kind of thought the same thing. I figured that Tylee was probably, Yellowstone was the last place that she was alive, let alone seen alive. But maybe that's not the case. Which also brings us to another point. I mean, these people really thought that they were going to get away with this? Did they really think that police would never check that property? How could they have thought that? You know? Right, another Twitter post says that police evidence response team and the FBI have found the human remains of 2 or more bodies on the property. Yeah, remember earlier in the other live stream, we saw that there were 4 spots in the yard with the tarps and the tent that they were digging in, which made me really wonder if there were more than 2 bodies there. Yeah, just we didn't think they'd be that stupid. You know, I don't know, how many times do we deal with these true crime cases and sit back and look back on them and go, how could they have been so stupid? You know, look at Chris Watts, right? He was absolutely stupid to dispose of the bodies where he went in his work truck, knowing it had GPS. You know, I mean, there's not a lot of thinking that goes on here. A lot of thinking that goes up to the crime and the commission of the crime, but then afterwards they seem to just shut down and do really stupid things, which works in our favor because then we can find out the truth. You know, if they had been smart enough to dispose of the children in a very caustic pool at Yellowstone, we would never know. There is no way we could ever know unless it happened to be on video. So let's be glad that they're not that smart. Oh, man. All right, let's check another check of the Twitters. You may hear some noise or some kids crying outside. Don't know what's going on. Not my monkeys. Not my circus. Yeah, so far just at least 2, if not more, bodies have been found. So, man, I don't know what to think of that. I think that it's quite possible that they had a whole host of other people in their life that got in the way of their mission or they thought were zombies. You know, can you imagine if they're digging up an entire graveyard in that yard? That would be something. All right, the press conference should be starting in about 10 minutes. I'm going to check East Idaho News again. not seeing anything yet, so we'll just keep refreshing that and bring this to you live because, man, there's been a lot invested in this case by the true crime community, because there's just so much to it. Like, I've spent the last 3 days going over this case, and that's only 3 days, and I still have barely scratched the surface, Denise has been covering this case for since September, and she has binders full of information and documents and people that she's talked to and interviews, and she downloaded all of the crazy podcasts Chad did, and she's listened to she spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on research. That's how much there is to this case and these people. And if this goes to trial, it's going to be something else, let me tell you. Still checking. News conference scheduled. No links yet. No, come on. I want to see this. Chad, let's see. Just refreshing the website. Nothing new yet. But I have a couple different websites up ready saying that they're going to air it. So we have KIDK3 Eyewitness News out there. We have East Idaho News. Now, East Idaho News has had the best coverage of this case anywhere, Nate Eaton is a star reporter. He's brought us most of the exclusive interviews with like Melanie and Ian and Melanie Gibb and April Raymond. Or April Raymond, that was Dateline, I think, actually. Yeah, but Nate Eaton has done an amazing job. He should get an award for the coverage of this case. I think, anyway. All right, now I see. Now, Chanley Shaw Painter. Chanley works for Court TV. All right. I love her. She has some amazing, amazing stuff. She is receiving confirmation that there were 2 sets of human remains found at the home. So if it's coming from her, then I take that as very, what's the word I want? Authentic or something. That's a good lead. So it's amazing to think that they may have found both kids in that yard. Melanie and Ian. I wish Nate could get a camera on those 2 right now. Ian is probably thinking, I need to move to Switzerland or something. Because remember, Ian was approached by the FBI shortly after he was married to Melanie. And they asked him to wear a wire and talk to her to see if she had any information about the kids. And he agreed to do that. And he did it for a while, but eventually he told her what he was doing because he felt guilty or something. But can you imagine if she was charismatic enough to talk him out of his fears or his worries or doubts to make him think, oh, they're just being crazy, And now all of a sudden he's sitting there watching the news today. I think Melanie Boudreau, not Melanie Gibb, knows exactly what happened. Or Melanie Pawlowski now. I think she absolutely knows because she said that she was up there in Rexburg living next door to Lori. She lived next door. It's not like she lived 10 miles away. She lived in the apartment next door to Lori, and she didn't see the kids for over a month. You don't think that's a problem? And even Nate asked her, why didn't you ask her where they were? She said, oh, well, I just thought JJ was at school or at therapy or something, and Tylee was with her friends. It's like, come on. No, nobody would think that. Nobody would think that. So Melanie has a lot going on. And remember Melanie and Brandon, her first husband, Brandon Boudreau. Brandon called 911 at some point because someone had shot at him. Right? And he described it as being, it sounded like a paintball gun was fired at him. But when police checked his car, they did find a bullet hole. And he said that he saw a green Jeep pulling away from the scene. And he identified that Jeep as belonging to Charles Vallow before he had died. All right, so that seems to me like Alex Cox was probably shooting at Brandon Boudreau. Why would he be doing that? Why would Alex Cox want to take out Brandon Boudreau? Now, Melanie, who was married to Brandon, is Lori's niece, and they were very, very close. So perhaps Lori and Melanie are very much cut of the same cloth. That's my take on that. And considering also that Melanie at one point was a nanny, allegedly, well, she says, to both of the kids, JJ and Tylee. You were their nanny and you didn't think it was weird that you didn't see them for 30 days when you lived next door? Okay, sure, no problem. So yeah, I think Melanie is probably having some gastrointestinal distress at the moment. And I'd like to see her picked up too, at least for formal questioning. I guess we'll find out. All right, let me check the website again. This should be starting in 9 minutes. Any word yet? All right, still checking. Nobody seems to be live yet. The cat is making all kinds of noise, because that's what they do. All right, nothing live yet. I'm still checking East Idaho News and KIDK3, which is, I don't know, there's two. It says Local News 8 and CBS 3, so who knows what station they are. I'm checking both of those over and over as soon as we can see. Oh, all right, they have a timer on their website, 7 minutes and 16 seconds. All right, so we got 7 minutes. Yes, that is the new cat. Let me tell you a story about this new cat. I think it was the day after Denise Rainey had passed away. My husband was at work and he found this beautiful silvery gray tabby cat at work who just was in the dumpster and then jumped out of the dumpster and ran into the store. So Dave brought the cat home because it was very hot. It was almost 100 degrees this week and it was hot and nasty out and he didn't want to leave the cat outside. So we brought it home and we figured we'd try to find the owner. So I posted it on Paw Boost and we took pictures. You might want to just let her go. Poor baby. We took pictures. We put up posters in a couple of shops around the area. Went looking around the homes in the area. And we so far have not found an owner for this kitty. So when I was in the live stream with Linda over the weekend, where we were having a Celebrate Denise live stream, I was talking about this cat and I didn't know what to name it. And somebody suggested Rainy. And I thought that was perfect because I wanted to name her something after Denise, but not call her Denise. So Rainy is a perfect name, especially given her coloring. She looks all gray and misty. But after she came home, she's been hiding, like totally hiding behind Dave's trash can under his desk or hiding in the windowsill behind the curtains. And if you get close to her, she just hisses and howls. And she's been a very sad kitty. She has been eating and drinking and using the litter box, though, so that's positive. I think she's very friendly with us, but as soon as she sees one of the other cats, she gets a little crazy. So I think that's her problem, and she's just not used to other cats around. But today, I did that 2-hour live stream when this news was breaking. And as soon as I was done, I was sitting here just talking in Discord, catching up with people. And out of nowhere, she jumps in my lap and she's purring and she's rubbing her head all over me and she's being all sweet and loving and adorable. And I was like, well, hello. Hi, Rainy. How are you? But that was the first time she's done that. And she did it immediately after I finished the live stream. So, we talk about Chad and Lori being crazy, having weird thoughts. But my thought was that was a message. If there ever was a message out there, that was a message from Denise saying, good job, you did it. So that was a very heartwarming moment with the new kitty, Rainy, today. So I'm hoping that her and I can be friends now, and maybe she'll be happy. My daughter made some chicken legs, one of my favorite keto chicken recipes, for dinner, and I was munching on those. And she was on my desk helping me eat them. So, and I let her. Normally, I don't let the cats eat off our plates, but I know that she's hungry because she's been in hiding, really. And I was like, just eat whatever you want and hang out with me. And we had a bonding moment. So I think she'll be okay. It may take her a couple more days to kind of get used to things here, but I think she'll be all right. Poor little thing. At least she's not outside in the heat. All right, we've got 3 minutes till this press conference. 3 minutes. I am going to stream it here. Hopefully it's going to work. Actually, let's do a test. I'm going to find a video, and I'm going to try and share it to check that you can hear it. All right, so let me go to screen share. Share screen, Chrome tab. Here we go. All right, I'm going to play this. I don't know if there's any sound. Let me know if you can hear it. I'm going to be quiet. All right, can you hear that audio? I'm going to pause it now. All right. Could you hear that? Did you have the audio from that? Anyone? No audio? I don't know how to do this. What am I missing? Let's try something else. This one doesn't have any audio. Here's a video. All right, how about this? I'll try streaming this. This one actually has sound in it. That's not just a helicopter. Share screen. All right. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox on the next window. Sharing audio from Chrome tab works best. Oh, look at that. Look what I just learned. All right, let's try this. I'm going to hit play.
We are going to flip the camera.
Let me know if you hear the audio.
What's happening right now here in the Daybell home.
All right, that was a test. Could you hear that audio? Yeah, there is a delay. I have to remember that. Okay, great. I think I figured it out. So when this goes live, I will be able to share it so you can hear it this time, because that's a little better than just watching stuff on a screen. All right, 1 minute and 53 seconds. Are we excited? I'm very excited to see this. I really hope this is good. Oh, man. I'm nervous. All right, sorry. I had to have a drink. I should pause my microphone when I'm doing that, I suppose, huh? Yeah, I'm nervous and excited. I want to hear stuff that I'm not sure we're going to hear, but we're going to find out. All right, when this gets to 30 seconds, I'll just start sharing the screen so we can go right into it so we don't miss the first few seconds. I want to hear more about his charges. I want to hear what gave them the probable cause for the search warrant today and who they think the remains belong to. Yeah, they better say more than 3 lines. Or, yeah, Chad's in jail. Okay, bye. No, that's not good enough. I mean, it is, because they don't have to tell us a darn thing. But I really wish they would. All right, here we go. Share. All right, 45 seconds. Hopefully it'll just pop up right here in this window. And then we can hear it. Oof. And apparently what are all these different channels? KIFI News, KIDK3, and Local News 8. So I guess they're all sharing the same website. 26 seconds. Oh, man. This is exciting stuff. And of course, now you're going to hear Rainy. Yes, no bond. Please, no bond. He is more than a flight risk. Although you got to wonder, if he knew that those bodies were there in his yard, why was he staying there? Why didn't he fly when he had the chance? It's kind of weird. I guess he's not bright. All right, off air? What? Why are we off air? What's this? KFI News. Event started. Why are we off air? This is Vimeo. What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm not sure why this is saying we're off the air now. Let's try reloading. Anyone have a clue what just happened? Let's check East Idaho News. Nothing new here yet. Live Rexford, please hold. Evening press conference. All right. Here we go. All right, they were getting ready. All right. I'm just going to tab out of this for a second. Let me know that you can see and hear that. Pop over here. Can you see and hear it? I'm assuming you could, or it hasn't even come up yet. All right, well, I'm just going to stream it because we'll figure it out. No? Yeah, what's happening? My screen. All right, let me try it again. StreamYard, share screen, audio, Chrome tab, live. All right, how about now? Oh, you can see it now. I see it on the YouTube. You see it there? All right, cool. I'll make it full screen as soon as they get going so we can watch it. Excellent. I'm figuring this out. This is like new magic. Yeah, there's nothing really happening now. It's just press talking in the background because it hasn't started yet. But I will turn it up and make it full screen as soon as it starts. Oh, I feel a little nauseous, honestly. I got to tell you. I'm afraid of what we're going to hear, you know? As much as I want closure on this case, I'm afraid of hearing that they found JJ and Tylee. And at least that guy was wearing a mask. Good for him. Yeah, Jess, I really, really wanted to believe that it was just some doomsday bunker thing that they had somewhere, and they were hiding them for their own safety, and someday Lori would just tell us. All right, here we go.
Go ahead and step forward, two of you, right up on the microphones there. There you go. Everybody ready to go?
You just need 1 second. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, they might start eventually. We're just going to sit here and stare at this guy for a while. The other guy got bored. He ran away. Oh, I guess we're going, maybe? All right, here we go.
Good evening, everybody. We should start off with some introductions. My name is Assistant Chief Gary Hagan from the Gresham Police Department. On my left is Chief Shane Turman from the Police Department and Sheriff Humphries from the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. The first, I'd like to start out and thank each and every one of family members, friends, media outlets, the public, and all the officers here in FAR who have helped and dedicated so much time to this case of our missing children's case, Tylee, Ryan, and Joshua Vallow. I first want to say that we understand that there's going to be a lot of questions, but unfortunately we're not taking any questions at this time. I want to stress to everybody that this is an active and ongoing case. And as soon as we have more answers, we'll be able to hold another press conference and we'll be able to answer those for you. I just wanted to recap today's events. So today, the Rexburg Police Department, as well as the Fremont County Sheriff's Department and the FBI conducted a search warrant in the 200 block of North 1900 East in Fremont County. It's also the residence of Chad Daybell. That's a Fremont County resident. During the search of the property, investigators discovered what appeared to be unidentified human remains, and an autopsy will be conducted. Shortly after the remains were discovered, Chad Daybell was taken into custody and put in the Fremont County Jail. There, Mr. Daybell will have his initial hearing tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Fremont County Courthouse in a closed hearing. I will be emailing everybody out, and I'll get a list from everybody that's here as well if they're wanting a copy of Chad's Daybell's booking photo. I'm now going to turn the time over to Sheriff Humphreys to discuss the logistics of the courthouse hearing for tomorrow.
So the hearing tomorrow will be a closed hearing, and what we will do is provide a video feed for those who are interested, which will be on YouTube. I do not have that address as of tonight, but it will be available in the morning, and that will be sent out. You have your contact information so that you can view the hearing at 11 o'clock. This is primarily for security issues, and because of the virus, the courts are still closed down to the public, and this is one way that we can provide a means for you to see what's going on. Thank you.
Again, we just want to thank everybody for coming out. We needed your help just as much as as the public and the family and friends and everybody that's been so dedicated in this case. So again, we can't thank everybody enough for getting it done. As soon as we have, like I said, more answers, we'll be able to do another hearing and let you guys know. So,
Can you clarify what the charges are for or charge?
at that time, it hasn't been determined. That's prosecutors probably discussing this.
Would you be able to clarify what he was booked on?
I can't answer that at this time again because I don't know the answer to that. And there are questions we have, we'll have to say for a later date.
So can we reference what was put on the jail website?
If you'd like to, yes.
So would it be accurate to say it's Fremont County stated that it would be a felony charge with no bond at this point?
I'm not 100% positive on that. That's good news. Okay. Thanks for everybody for coming out. We'll update you, like I said, as soon as we have more.
Well, first of all, that was super quiet. Very sorry about that. And very little information. There will be a hearing tomorrow. He said closed, but he also said they're streaming it on YouTube, so we'll have that in the morning. But man, we don't know anything. Actually, it seemed like we knew more than they did. So, well, that was kind of a waste of time. Yeah, no new information. I guess we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Find the hearing. I will find that. I will bring it to you live because I want to see Chad's butt in a courtroom, even if it's just video. So I guess because he has to have his arraignment before we'll know what the actual charges are. Hopefully he won't get bond and won't be able to bond out because I want him to stay right there in jail. Excuse me, I got the hiccups and the burps. Great. So that's all we know. All right, that was a boring press conference. They could have just put out a tweet for all the good that did. Really, I mean, there was nothing to that at all. But we got to see it, and you got to hear it as much as you could hear it. And that's that. So I have had a day, and I need a nice bubble bath. If you could hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, I'm going to go live every time there's breaking news on this case because that's what Denise would do, and we got to stay on it now because we're going to be heading to trial, hopefully, and we're going to have all the background information so we can tear that trial apart because that's what we do. Yeah. Anyway, I also have another video that just uploaded before I went live, just a quick 2-minute update of what happened today. If you want to check that out and give it a share and a like and stuff. And that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. So all the links will be in the description once I edit that. So you can get to my Discord, my email, anything that you want to find. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate the support. This means the world to me. I'm doing this for Denise. So the fact that you're all helping me do that, that's amazing. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.